Okay, you join me on this delightful Monday afternoon for the bubble of a $20 Singer. I'm currently in, there's 5 left. I am second in chips, so maybe will be below that in chips after this hand, because I have a king-queen and I've flopped top pair against a very aggressive player, and I may be willing to put my chips in provided the situation is good for me. But he's folded, so I'm going to pick up chips and move to second. The table's relatively aggressive, as you can see on my poker race HUD numbers. The stat there is the VPRP. I don't know if you can see the cursor, you probably can't, but take seat 1, the 32 is the VPRP, the 6 is the pre-flop raise, the one that's not available is the continuation bet percentage, and the one on the far right, the one that says 50, is the hands played. Those are the stats I have on the table. So as you can see, there's a lot of pre-flop raising going on. It's a very aggressive table. And I've picked up an ace queen. I'm going to raise it my standard 3 times big blind. I'm playing on one other table at the moment, but I won't be recording that because that's not as interesting. There's 8 players left in that, and I'm with an average stack. Ace jack suited now. We'll be raising this, but it's a very dangerous raise to be raising into the very aggressive big blind. He's very loose, very aggressive, but he's just going to fold that time. And the figures along the bottom you see are the post-flop betting frequency, how many times they're going to bet post-flop. From left to right is flop, turn and river, and then overall aggression factor. But in sitting there, you shouldn't have to rely on stats too much, you shouldn't rely on your own reads. The stats are just useful to accompany your own reads. So I'm now chip leader in this, but it's still relatively tight. There's only one person who's below 2k. We're going to fold that jack 8 offsuit in early position. Bucksman is another loose aggressive player, and I don't really want to be attempting any steals in his blind. Incidentally, my table image is slightly crazy, even though I've been playing very tight aggressive here. I've re-raised all in with a 7-5 offsuit, and I was relatively short into chips. And when his Bucksman's big blind he raised from the small blind into my big blind, so I pushed over the top with a 7-5 offsuit, and he folded pocket 6s, and I showed my 7-5 offsuit, and now the table think I'm a bit of a nutcase, which can work to my advantage, of course. And which is a big pot there. He's relatively quite passive that time, but he seems to be ramping up the aggression as we get onto the bubble, and he really is now. Now he's got some chips behind him, and of course he hasn't been raising very often, and it's a re-raise, so I have to fold. But I would have folded had it been folded to me anyway, because he's not raising often enough for me to be making plays of 7-6 suited, especially out of position. Been playing for around 40 minutes in this sitting now, so blinds are about to hit 75 and 150, and then things will start to get a bit hectic. Stealing will be of essence. Sorry if the sound sounds a bit weird, just because I occasionally flip to my other table. There's things going on there as well. So you might want to just ignore the sound, as it may seem a bit weird. Again, well, both those players have really been starting to get aggressive now, so I'm not going to try and steal their blind so much. Every player on this table is slightly loose as well, they're playing a lot of hands. This could be over in a matter of seconds, just because the players are just raising each other, they're very aggressive. Sorry, I'm just all in on my other table, and I've just one big pot there. Lovely. Lovely. Now the blinds have gone up to 75 and 150, so blind stealing is very important at this stage. As I've said before, I don't like to steal blinds at the 10, 20, 15, 30 and 25, 50 levels, because it's simply not worth it in relation to your stack. But as the blinds are getting to 50, 100 and 75, 150 and upwards, stealing blinds does add value to your stack and does really keep you alive, so it is very essential. This guy who's sitting to my left has really started getting aggressive now. He's raising a lot of hands. I might start having to play back at him soon, but he has position on me, so it's going to be a very dangerous task, both stealing his blind and playing back to him when he makes those under the gun raises. Jack 8 offsuit with an under the gun raise. We're not going to play that out of position. I wouldn't play it in any position, to be honest. Somehow I'm still top of the shop in chips. No idea how, but I'm there. He's just pushed all in quite randomly. He's not raising that often, this guy. He's raised 5 out of 63 hands, but he's playing a lot. He's played 21 out of 63. So potentially he's a tad dangerous to be raising, but I think he's my prime target to be stealing big blinds from solo, because he's not going to play back at me as often as the other players. He may be calling a lot of my blind raises, but he's not going to be re-raising me a lot. And he will fold 2/3 of his hands, so an essential target to be stealing from, I think. And he's got a lot of chips now. He's a new chip leader. So this will make it interesting. Will he now go up in aggression? And if he does, we're going to have one hell of a four-handed game, with all 4 players being aggressive. He had to make that call to Queen 6. See if he can snatch a queen and knock that short stack out. No. We could see a comeback then. $7-3 under the gun is a fold. On a different table I would be raising a lot of hands, I'd be trying to take advantage of a 5-handed game as much as possible with 75 and 150 blinds. But this one is so aggressive, I need to pick my spots very carefully in order to not lose so many chips. Okay, and he's min-raised me. I'm going to show him that I'm not going to just fold to a min-raise, I'm just going to call that min-raise and tell him that I am not going to fold to his petty blind steal attempts, but will fold to that. My intention wasn't to win the hand, it was to send a message to him that he can't steal my blinds with a min-raise. And we have an all in there. Ace-5 is too much of a risk for me to be calling off for. That's about 1/5 of my stack with an Ace-5. I'll probably have an edge on him, but I can win for a better spot than that, without a doubt, especially with a stack that short. So he could have me dominated quite easily, Ace-6 and up. Gonna fill up the Jack-3 there. Again, I must reiterate that stealing blinds is vitally important to stay alive late in a sitting go, but on this table, this is a very interesting table. I've got to be particularly careful with blind steals and how I'm generally going to play it with my raises on the blinds, because they're so aggressive, and I could get re-raised so easily if I make the wrong steal. Just one wrong step and I've lost, what, 450 chips, which is a hell of a lot. And he's just going to limp this time. My message paid off that he can't min-raise me. So he's giving me a free flop here. Now I'll bet 300 and hopefully take this down. I haven't been making too many bets into him, so he may be very reluctant to play back at me when I bet. The only real major bet I've made into him was that all-in restore made with 7-5 suited. But that was a long time ago now. Jack 9, we're not going to try and knock him out with that. Easily dominated. And he's going to call it King 2. And he won't win that.